Hello, everybody. It's week 8. Sorry, this is coming out late in the evening versus first thing in the morning. Um, just a couple of things. Administratively, this is the second of our doohickeys paper. It's due a week from today, on Monday in the morning, 8 a.m., whatever your local time would be. And don't forget to get an extra hour because daylight savings time happens. That's our first thing, and everybody seems to be doing fine on this. Everybody did a great job on the last one. So hopefully it will be the same, and it'll be from topics week 5 through 8. So week 5, 6, 7, and 8 will be the ones you can draw from. Same doohickeys problem. Give a full, fresh take on this. Use a new introduction, new conclusion, and 3 problems with 4 solutions each based on material from 5, 6, 7, or 8. Again, I don't think that's new to anybody, but just a quick refresher. I've enjoyed watching your meetings, and those have been good discussions. It seems like everybody's participating extremely well in our class. People are involved and coming to the meetings, etc., and that's a great thing. It makes the class so much more fun and interesting. Administrative wise, also, we're past the instructor feedback stage. I wanted to get back with you on one thing. Several of you mentioned that I've not been as responsive on emails as you would like. I hear that feedback. I will do a better job on that and try to make sure I'm getting back to you in a quicker period of time. So I appreciate that feedback, and I will do my best to do better, and hopefully that will reflect in how you feel about the class that we're providing and the great discussions we're having, and that email issue won't be a detractor from that. So thank you for telling me that and being direct with your feedback. It always helps it get better when you're direct and to the point. Thank you for that. So I think that's all of our administrative and other thoughts for the week. I do want to share a spiritual thought with you. This ensign is the one from the conference issue. Whether you have the physical magazine or I think all of you have a phone, you have access to the full written remarks and audio remarks of General Conference that was just barely a month ago. Actually, not even a month ago. It's amazing how fast that happens to get in print in a ensign like that in such a short period of time. But again, even as remarkable or more remarkable are the opportunities you have to study General Conference. We all get a lot out of it in conference weekend, but I think a lot of us get more out of it during the week, months, and years after that. And so I would encourage you to take time with your device, with the magazine if you choose. It was in the church news. It's just in lots of different places to be able to take time and feast on those words of the Savior again, on our words of a prophet, although perhaps a little less lengthy than they used to be, but still, and very much to know that President Monson is a prophet for us. So it's a brief spiritual thought, but I want you to just take some time and maybe even share a conference learning or two if you study those things and hopefully are doing that and get the opportunity to share that with our class. Okay, we're in week 8. There's 2 topics. One is safety and one is motivation. I guess I'm going to take a minute with safety first. Safety is a really interesting topic. It's one of those things that people hate to talk about, they hate to be trained on, but when something really bad happens, such as an accident, people clamor for more safety and more ability to do things safely, whether it's somebody at a company or whether the news media get a hold of something. One of those things that seems to get pointed out is safety. And we're going to spend time on Wednesday and talk about that. A couple of keys that go along with that is that it's interesting how safety training gets such a bad name, but it's so important. And somebody that is a really good safety trainer can be high in demand because it is so hard to bring life to this safety concept. We all know we need to work safe, and everybody hears that much, and then they just hear blah, blah, blah. If you can be able to get somebody to pay attention to safety for the right reasons, it can be a great opportunity career-wise and opportunity-wise as far as helping people be safe on their job. There's nothing worse than getting injured on the job and having to live with those things, whether they be debilitating or short-term or whatever, especially on the safety side, are things like ankles, knees, and backs. On my previous company, the two previous companies in the construction world, we had that all the time. Ankles, knees, and backs, people would trip, they would fall, they would twist something, and so many of the accidents and issues are just avoidable by common sense and the things that go with that. So we'll talk about that on Wednesday, but give us your spin on that with safety. The second one is my favorite topic, my personal one for this class. And we're going to talk a lot about motivation this week. And I included in your course notes and in the email a specific announcement on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And what that is a pyramid that I think is absolutely fascinating and ingenious, that talks about how we as human beings are motivated. If you think about people and the horrible situation that's talked about with refugees fleeing the Middle East or Africa or whatever the case might be, and you look at that, you have people that are doing anything they can for the bottom of Maslow's pyramid, which is the physiological needs, such as not having bullets tear through their house, or not having ISIS come in and take away their kids in the middle of the night or shoot them, or whatever the case might be. And you look at that, that is such a very, very dramatic thing in the world today. And it is one that is so called out by Maslow and his comment that says people want those physiological needs first. And then you see that pyramid as it gets smaller toward the top, and you get to that very top pyramid of self-actualization. And that concept of self-actualization says, I'm complete, I'm whole, I'm content, I'm filled, whatever the case might be. But yet all of the things below that, pretty much according to Maslow, have to be met for that highest one to happen. So for example, if I come back to the refugees, someone from Syria, for example, someone that's a refugee and has no home because they were literally forcibly removed of it from ISIS or someone else like that, is going to really have a hard time feeling self-actualized and feeling like life is completely perfect. There's so much chaos, so much want, so much pain around them that they come right back to that first level. And us that are obviously more fortunate than that have opportunities to grow in those levels. And we're going to spend a fair amount of time this week talking about that along with safety. I found it fascinating on what motivates people. And the whole, one of the cruxes of the whole HR concept that we deal with is that people are motivated by different things. Not only just different things, but different things at different times. Different times, different reasons, different circumstances. They can be motivated at home by one thing, they can be motivated at work by something else. And it really is an interesting discussion that we'll have this week on that. And I don't want to give it all away, but we want you to look at that pyramid, look at what the book talks about, or our material talks about with motivation, and see what that looks like. Hope all is well. We will see you on Wednesday at 8 p.m. And that is the plan. We'll send out the link beforehand and go from there. Thanks. You guys have a great night and have a good one.